The shiur is dedicated to Zecha Nishmas Rachalea Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi. Last year, we began to discuss Perek Chav Gimel of Sefer Yirmiyahu. Perek Chav Gimel is connected to the previous Perek. The previous program spoke about Malachim who acted inappropriately, B'lashon HaMatah, the understatement of the year, a lack of mishpat, a lack of tzedakah, and there's a long list of Malachim that I mentioned, Yehoyakim, Yehoyachin, and finally Tzidkiyahu. Of course, Chazal consider him to be a tzaddik yesod olam. And there was one area where Chazal indicate, we veered from the path, and that's Perek Chav Beis. And Perek Chav Gimel begins with a discussion of royim, of shepherds, namely manhigim, who destroy and scatter the flocks of Klal Yisrael. Klal Yisrael, of course, are compared to sheep. We already have seen this a number of times, starting from the Psukim in Parshas Pinchas, and going to Psukim in Yecheskel, Tzon Kadoshim, and the Navi Yirmiyahu rails against these roim, who are responsible for scattering the flocks of Hashem Yisbarach, namely Klal Yisrael, and Hashem therefore is going to gather. There will be a kind of kibbutz golios, and Hashem will once again restore Klal Yisrael to Eretz Yisrael. That's in Perek Chav Gimel, Pasuk Gimel, towards the end, where the Navi says, "Vashivosi esen al neveyen ufaru v'rabu," and Hashem Yisbarach will appoint new leaders. Pasuk Daled, "Vakimosi aleim roim v'raum v'lo yiruo v'lo yichatu v'lo yipakedu num Hashem." No longer will they fear, no longer will they be dismayed, none will be missing. And then the Navi begins to speak in messianic terms. In Pasuk K, Hinei yomim ba'im num Hashem vakimosi l'David tzemach tzadik. Hashem Yisbarach is going to set up, obviously from David HaMelech, a tzemach tzadik. And we noted that this refers to Mashiach, and we noted a number of psukim, both in Yeshayahu, that refer to Mashiach in such terms as a kind of shoot. When Mashiach reveals himself, obviously, in those days, undoubtedly, we're going to have tzaddikim, and the entire world again will become righteous. And as the Navi actually writes, both in Yeshayahu, and also the same idea, we saw this in Yeshayahu in the second Perek, and the same idea as well is seen in other psukim, in Tanakh. Zechariah as well speaks about it, and one could even find a reference to this as well in the psukim that we are familiar with in Sefer Tehillim. The pasuk says, for example, in Ayin Beis. So Tehillim Ayin Beis speaks about Lishlomo Elokim Mishpatecha LeMelech Teim V'tzikoscha LeBen Melech Yodin Amcha B'tzedek V'aniyecha B'mishpat. Again, we have exactly the function of a king. It's to judge with mishpat and tzedakah. We've spoken about this in the last number of shiurim. Yisu harim shalom la'am ugvol tzedakah yishpat aniyei am yoshia livnei avyon. We read the Rambam in Hilchos Malachim describing the mandate of a melech, but primarily a mandate that's founded upon the dictum of mishpat and tzedakah, biyadaki oshek, and to crush those who are involved in oshek. Again, we saw this in Yirmiyahu and Perek Chav Beis. Yerochem shemesh l'nei dor dorim Yerei kematar al geiz kirvivim zar zivaretz. And the pasuk that follows, pasuk Zayin in Perek Ayin Beis of Tehillim, Rabbi Melech says, Yifrach b'yamav tzadik v'rov shalom bad b'li yareach. Again, the righteous should undergo pricha, should undergo flourishing with tremendous shalom ad b'li yareach. So here we have this idea again, which is mentioned in Tehillim, a very fundamental one, and This is the yesod of the Melech HaMashiach. Tzemach Tzadik, the way the Targum translates it, Mashiach the Tzadikayo. Of course, there's going to be a sense of Malchus. Malach Melech vehiskil v'yasa mishpat tzedakah ba'aretz. And Pasuk Vav here in Perek Gimel says, B'yamav tivasha Yehuda v'Yisrael yishkol levetach v'zeh shmo asher yikro Hashem tzidkeinu. The language, of course, is the language of tzedakah, of righteousness, and the righteousness of Hashem Yisbarach will be with us forever. And therefore, this is an ideal chapter. And then we understand very well as well the following psukim, Zayin and Ches, that we mentioned in the context of the Gemara at the end of the first Perek of Brachas. No longer will we say Chai Hashem Asher Holos B'nai Yisrael Be'eretz Mitzrayim, but rather Chai Hashem Asher Helov Asher Hevi Ezer